It's a fit-up. It's a fit-up.
My name is Teresa Skelton and I'm a member of the Jack Party. I was criminalised corruptly twice by Hampshire Constabulary. The police started their magic tricks with me back in 2004. Doesn't this memo look convincing? This is an internal document between Hampshire Police and the CPS, which I was never meant to see. I only got it anonymously after trial and conviction. There's not a word of truth in it. I was never arrested and never in custody, let alone injured. I never saw a police officer until 7 weeks after the alleged event over which I was successfully prosecuted. In court, when the prosecution asked what happened after I was taken away, I had to say I hadn't a clue what they were talking about. But the trick worked because it made me look sly and evasive. Guilty, guilty, guilty. Since then, I've never stopped campaigning against corruption in Hampshire Police. But Hampshire Police aren't interested in dealing with the problem. Instead, they prefer to retaliate against their critics. This is PCSO 13204 Lawrence Day. In 2016, this man violently ejected me from a public meeting, at which I was the only member of the public, injuring me in the process. He then claimed that I had assaulted him. I was prosecuted and convicted not just on his perjury, but on that of the woman who had just become Chief Constable of Hampshire. She had been in the meeting audience. There were 2 articles online, one from the Daily Mail that said, Police Chief says convicted sex offenders should undergo compulsory lie detector tests, and the most famous one of all is when a police officer in Lancaster, I think it was, told a member of the public that he was going to lie about him in court to get him convicted, and this was in the Daily Express. Well, in a situation like this, my husband treated me to a polygraph test.
My name is Terry Mullins. I'm a polygraph examiner. Today is the 11th of May 2017. The person taking the test is Teresa Skelton. Teresa, keep very still. Your test has started.
The examination lasts for about 20 minutes. It's repeated 3 times with the 3 relevant questions and then interspersed with neutral and comparison questions. Question 1. On the 22nd of January 2016, did you kick PCSO Lawrence Day in Hampshire County Council building? Question 2. Did any of the persons in question speak to you prior to PCSO Lawrence Day physically assaulting you in the County Council building? On the 22nd of January 2016, were you given a police caution before reaching the custody suite at Basingstoke Police Station? I answered no to all of the questions. Mr. Mullins made a report, and this was his conclusion. After careful analysis of all the charts to the test, Teresa Skelton's answers to all the relevant questions as listed above did not contain responses that are associated with deception. Therefore, it is my professional opinion that Teresa Skelton was truthful to the relevant questions on this test, and the result is classed as no deception indicated.
I'll mix us up. Public order. Score up to a police officer. Shall I do that? Who are they going to believe, me or you? Who are they going to believe, me or you?
You know very well you committed perjury against me.
Okay. Teresa, I know that this has been to court.
Yeah, that's right. And you
Charged.
committed perjury.
finish?
You committed perjury. The surface saying how wonderful you are and it's gone to court. You had to lie. You had to lie in court, and I can publicly call you a liar. You should arrest yourself, Olivia, for this.
We'll leave it there.
No, it's not going away.
We are the paying public,
Public,
Olivia.
yeah, and you work for
Will
us.
please listen.
Don't
look.
point your finger at me.
No.
Nobody's pointing their finger at
finger
you,
at you.
Olivia. I'd rather a man who points a finger at somebody than a liar like yourself.
I'm not a liar.
You are a liar. You did not see. You did not see me kick anybody, and it wouldn't be my Nathan.
I'm not a liar.
You are a liar. You said
Teresa.
you saw me
Thank
kick
you.
PCSO Day. I did not.
Please.
What's it like? What's it like to be a criminal, Olivia Pinkney? You are a criminal. This is Jason Packer.
Right. This is the court where Mr. Packer was sent to prison, believe it or not, for having a horror film. Of course, there was a lot more to it than just that, but this horror film had been shown in cinemas. It was perfectly legal. However, there were a number of other charges, including other films and clips. All of these had dates prior to the computer actually existing, and the last written dates were before that. All last written dates should be after download or at the same time as download, for the simple reason you cannot write something to a hard drive that you haven't yet got. Neither the computer existed nor did the hard drives. The only way that this could have happened is the dates being falsified, as they were. The computer was used by the police for a 9-minute period during search and seizure. They pretended that they did a dictionary search. No such thing was recorded by the computer. We have all of that in the documents. The fact is, Mr. Packer was sent to prison for planted files. He was entirely innocent, and for the last 8 years has been stuck on the sex offenders register for something he hasn't done. His life has been destroyed. Police corruption. And the reason for that? He was politically active, and they wished to protect someone called Michael Hancock. All of Mr. Packer's defence was stopped. Literally stopped. The judge was fully aware of what he was doing, as was the defence barrister, who did not defend. The defence barrister didn't even bother to turn up for a couple of the hearings. So the man was sent to prison. He should never have been.
This is Stephen George.
As you are aware, I was discussing Mr. Packer's case and the fact that it was all before the computer existed. There is another document which I can show to the camera, you can probably see that, the case summary. On page 2 of the case summary, this is what the police write. We can clearly see the dates, these dates of the day the computer came into existence, the 1st of June 2013, and the fact that it was used for nearly 9 minutes actually, from 6:57 a.m. until 7:07. These dates are here, and these times are here. And on the second document that I we have all the listed dates also underlined, they're not actually highlighted, showing you that they're prior again to the computer's existence. While trying to protect Jason, I walked across the court and gave to a journalist documents which showed a number of the, not the clips, they were like little tiny thumbnails, this size, tiny little things, showing that they were adults, They were on sites where they had been approved as adults. They were horror films, etc. And the dates were also on it. It showed his innocence. For that, I was charged. One of those tiny little pictures at the very top, which had no genitalia showing, it was head and shoulders, you couldn't see anything else. Anyway, they had also had no proof that she was underage. She was fully developed. But they charged me, and I ended up on the sex offenders register myself. I was not allowed any defence. I appeared in that same Crown Court that I was outside earlier today that you've seen, and having no defence, exactly as they did to Jason. And I was forced to plead guilty. So a lot of people think that I pleaded guilty because I'd done something. No, I pleaded guilty because I had no choice. Later on, I went to a judicial review in London about 10 months later, and they wiped everything. What they did was, I was given a conditional discharge. They made it an absolute discharge, and they took me off the register, and they also archived it as no crime. In other words, I now have a conviction for no crime. So that is what they did. And they really did it just to make me look bad. And that's all they did it for.